No I can see the wizard, not no way, not no how. But I'm here for my 3 o'clock appointment. Well, that's a clock a different number. Larry, is someone at the door? Why didn't they try the doorbell? Your sign said it was out of order. Ugh. Larry, I told you, our bell sound is fine. Take that sign off. Sorry about him. That executive doesn't have a brain. You said 3 o'clock? Yes. Okay, let's see here, here it is. The wonderful Wizard of References may see you now. Thank you.
I am Rev. Who dares enter my domain?
Oh great and powerful Rev. I come in need of a spark.
Explain yourself.
Well, you see, Mr. Rev, sir, I come in need of some new ideas for my channel to increase my interest to talk about animation.
Fool, I'm a wizard, not a psychic reader. But I can tell you one thing. Back where I come from, inspiration comes from anywhere, especially if it's on the nose, and we call those people thinkers. But they have one thing that you always have, an experience.
Anywhere? Experience? That's it! I got it!
Therefore, I now bestow upon you full access to our Cyber Wonderland reference library. Let both worlds collide to your heart's content.
Did you ever have those moments where you never seen a specific movie, but you saw a cartoon spoofing it? Were you too little to know about The Godfather or Twin Peaks, but you remember an episode lampooning them? Or how about you watch a cartoon making fun of another cartoon? Chances are you may have seen a couple of episodes dedicate themselves to a specific pop culture reference. For me, I enjoy those types of cartoon adventures. I love how much they parody a movie, video game, etc., while also pay tribute to them and welcome newcomers unfamiliar with it. That's why I decided to create a new segment called Parody Parallels. Try saying that 5 times fast. It's a lot like my Holiday Gems video where I will summarize and review the episode as a whole and talk about the pop culture reference they parody. So here are the rules. The cartoon episode must be a full-on parody of something from beginning to end. It can spoof a movie, a TV show, a video game, or a few other mass medias. However, crossovers do not count. These parallel episodes are not in order in any way. This is just to search and talk about the best parody episodes. Also, there are no letter or number grades in this review, but the episode will still be rewarded with a golden object for the best parody scene in the episode, golden film reel, TV remote, or game controller. For this segment's first episode, I decided to start things off with an easy one, and you don't need a parodinator to find what you're looking for. Wizard of Oz is Phineas and Ferb's 52nd episode that aired on September 10, 2010. Yep, I already know what I'm going to do today, talking about a Phineas and Ferb episode. The show is about two boys who want to make the best summer of their lives, so they build some unbelievable ideas and contraptions to make it unforgettable. They have an older sister that wants to bust them for building these things, and a pet platypus who's a secret agent fighting an evil scientist during their adventure. The show was a popular hit on Disney Channel in the 2000s and 2010s for its funny humor and clever writing in terms of its own structure. It had multiple TV movies, anime shorts, crossovers, and it would soon come back as a revival series. In this Phineas and Ferb episode, the entire cast starred in their own version of The Wizard of Oz, the classic tale about a girl named Dorothy who entered the magical land of Oz, where she meets some colorful characters while trying to ask the wizard to help her get back home. While it's heavily known to be one of the most popular fantasy books of all time, the cartoon can't help but satirize the beloved 1939 MGM movie. There have been other cartoons that already done it, but the Phineas and Ferb version seems to be one of the most taught Oz parodies alongside Robot Chicken and the Beetlejuice cartoon. So let's activate the pop counter and hopefully have fun along the way. It starts out with Phineas and Ferb's mom telling their sister Candace if she could help the boys clean the house. Candace has no interest because she's too focused on trying to bust her brothers. Her mom still suggests that she should try to have fun, so she decides to get Candace her favorite book, The Wizard of Oz. She gets another call from Buford and Baljeet on the house cleaning, but she still declined. But what she doesn't know is that Phineas and Ferb are water holding the house up in the air like a car wash. This leads us to our first Oz parody, the house spinning around like a twister and knocks Candace unconscious. Perry the Platypus wakes her up and discovers they landed in a magical place called Patchkin Land. One of the Munchkins, or Patchkins as they're called, tells her that little Susie got crushed by the house. Don't worry, she's not dead, this is a family show. But a floating eyeball appears and they meet Isabella, the good witch of the fireside, followed by another wicked visitor.
Witch! Witch! Warlock! It's a robe, not a dress!
He came to Patchkin Land to get Susie's red rubber boots, but they magically got to Candace. Isabella tells him that he can't have them because he has no power in this part of Oz. As he plans to get Candace later, and her little platypus too, he tries to disappear, but that trick ended up burning him. Still confused about everything, Candace can't help but feel that Phineas and Ferb are behind all this. And she's sorta right. Okay, as funny as that trick was, it is surprising that they reused that idea for a revival episode. She wants to know if there was a way to bust her brothers, and Isabella tells her that she must go to Bustopolis and ask the wizard. We then get our first musical number, Yellow Sidewalk. It's memorable, it captures the same tone as the Yellow Brick Road song, and the animation around the Lane of Oz is just beautiful and colorful all the way through. As she and Perry walk the sidewalk, they come across Baljeet as a scarecrow, or Nerdcrow as he calls himself. When she tells him about the wizard, he wants to meet the wizard and sings a song about wanting to become cool. She agrees to let him join, but the journey comes to a halt when they meet Phineas and Ferb. They offer them another sidewalk to Bustopolis filled with candy, sweets, and unicorns for riding. But Candace wants to stay on the yellow sidewalk as told, much of Baljeet's objections. We then cut to
It's not witch, it's warlock!
Where Agent P comes to defeat Doofenwitch, Warlock, but gets trapped by a spider web. Realizing that Perry's with Candace, he sends his flying squirrels after her. Meanwhile, Candace and Baljeet meets the Tin Man, but once she saw her boyfriend Jeremy, she throws it away. She asks if he has a wish from the wizard, and he said it's probably related to him as a tree, but he won't explain it once they make it to Bustopolis. Yeah, aside from becoming a real boy again, he doesn't have any special wishes from the wizard. Candace was just looking for a way to insert Jeremy in her dream. But Phineas and Ferb appeared again, and they gave them two options. They can either go to the yellow sidewalk to the scary forge, or take the ice cream sidewalk they made and ice skate their way to Bustopolis. Like before, Candace says no, and the journey continues. Which leads to the trio meeting their next ally, Buford, who is a version of a combination of a lion, tiger, and bear. Oh my. Yet oddly enough, he wants nothing from the wizard, but he tags along anyway. So they meet Phineas and Ferb again, and this time they made a fun, bouncy blue sidewalk, and you know what happens. But it looks like she should have picked sidewalk number 2 because the flying squirrel caught up to her and take her to Doofenshmirtz's castle. He traps her in a spider web and demands for the red rubber boots, but the boots are literally attached to her, so Doof brings out an inator to disintegrate her from existence. Perry managed to escape the castle and called for Candace's friends for help with Major Monogram mapping out the plan. Yeah, I tried to do some research on that bit, and I couldn't find any mentions of Oz fairies, so I decided not to count on the pop counter. Sorry. The boys disguise themselves as makeup artists to give Doofenwitch's castle a makeover.
Not witch, warlock!
What about the dress?
It's a robe!
This gives Perry a chance to rescue Candace, but they get surrounded by Doofenwitch and his royal guards.
Warlock!
Whatever. Candace tries to melt him with water, but that ends up shrinking his clothes. They beg the guards not to hurt them, but they don't want to. They rather sing, making it the perfect distraction for the gang to escape. But the drawbridge is out, and the moat is covered with lava with an alligator. Luckily, Perry used a grappling hook and hitched a ride on a Phineas and Ferb blend, but a flying squirrel cuts the rope midway, and they fall into the sea of razor-sharp rock spires. But it turns out to be a bunch of soft pillows, and they finally all made it to Bustopolis, where it's covered with all the inventions that Phineas and Ferb made throughout the summer. After passing by a real munchkin, the boys give Candace a fun tube ride to the wizard, but she still wants to take the yellow stairs, but her allies want to ride it anyway. She finally made it to the top and found a cell phone to call the wizard, but it turns out to be her mom. On top of that, Phineas and Ferb are her helpers on giving out the gifts. They give Baljeet some sunglasses to be cool, free Jeremy from his tree costume, and despite Buford not wanting something, he gets a satisfying ham sandwich. Before Candace could argue about not busting her brothers, Doofenwarlock still wants the red rubber boots. So Ferb used a shoehorn to take them off of Candace, and Doof finally got what he wanted. Oh, and by the way, those boots never had any magical powers or anything, he just has a taste for fashion. And it looks like during his song, somebody drops a house on him too. Still upset about not having her wish granted, she asked her mom to buzz Phineas and Ferb over all the things they made throughout her adventure. Although she never saw any of them herself, she dismissed them as fun activities for Candace, but Candace didn't really have fun because Isabella told her to stay on the yellow sidewalk. But it turns out the Good Witch says that to everybody like a theme park greeter. Mrs. Flynn Fletcher advised her daughter that she could have had a lot of fun on her adventure if she just take a chance off the yellow sidewalk and try to take a fun way to get where she's going. Summer won't last forever, and the joy is in the journey itself. And I really do like this episode's message that there is a way to turn something simple like a normal walk into a fun and joyful experience, even if it's something crazy like Candyland, ice cream skating, or bouncy sidewalks. Candace wants to have fun like everybody else, and she's willing to take that chance. Unfortunately, it's too late for her because she woke up from her Oz dream. The crazy, whimsical, and imaginative dream, and she abandoned all the fun things that were given to her during that journey. When she looked outside, her brothers built a monster truck-sized unicycle. At first, she was eager to bust them for it, but she decided to follow her dream world to heart and decided to ride with them for fun. As they take the fun journey around the tri-state area, we get a post-credit scene of Candace singing her busted song with a Tin Man from her dream. Don't you just love it when a show parodies themselves? Now that we look over the Phineas and Ferb Wizard of Oz episode, let's follow the yellow brick road on where our pop counter stands. So far, we counted at least 28 Oz parodies in the Land of Oz. There could be more, but the ones that we counted caught the most attention. Plus, there may have been some other Oz references like the Wiz musical or Wicked. In addition, the episode includes some non-Oz references like Abraham Lincoln, Pinocchio, and Santa Claus. However, this review is dedicated for the best Wizard of Oz joke, and only one deserves the golden prize in my book. I'll give the golden film reel to the dude from Warlock Guards. They had the funniest scenes in the episode with their big and flawed entrance to their over-the-top musical number. Wizard of Oz is not only one of the best Wizard of Oz parodies, but it's one of the best Phineas and Ferb episodes. It's a loving tribute to the Oz legacy, the jokes are hilarious, the songs are catchy, and it even has a good moral about the importance of having fun. This is a must-watch for any Wizard of Oz fans, and like most Phineas and Ferb episodes, you will have fun with this strange adventure. It's a summer journey that will definitely make you feel like you're somewhere over the rainbow. Did you have a blast with the Phineas and Ferb episode? What are some of your favorite Oz parodies? Also, if you have an idea what cartoon parody you would like me to talk about, feel free to leave in the comments below for a future episode. And be sure to like, comment, subscribe me for a new review or other project. I'm Matt Howard Patrick. Now if you excuse me, I'm going to take the bouncy sidewalk home. Thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed this, check out these other videos, or feel free to like, comment, and subscribe for more upcoming reviews and other projects. I'll see you soon.